Hello and welcome to Extra Credits on our road to silver here. In this series, I am going to be taking some common fighting game wisdom and putting it to the test in ways where I best learn. So today, in honor of everyone's favorite cow lady, I will be looking at a risk-reward situation and seeing how it stacks up should you in fact take the throw. Now, to set this up, I'm going to have a very specific situation because I want this to be as simple and basic of a situation as possible. It is, you have just knocked down your opponent in the corner in a way that lets you get wake-up pressure. As the offense, you will not be able to use any meter, and your wake-up pressure is strike, throw, or wait. And wait will come in the form of the classic shimmy. So if we set that up real quick, alright. Then our opponent is going to do one of four options. Being on defense is harder, and they are allowed to use meter only in the form of an invincible reversal because there are no resourceless invincible reversals in this game. You are either using this gauge or this gauge to get that. So, unless you're using super or drive, you don't get it, so we make the exception so that our opponent can use an invincible reversal as part of their options. Now, let's begin. Strike versus block. Kind of a 0-0 situation, right? We're underneath the timer, trying to hold the corner, which is not a terrible position for the offense, but we didn't get anything off of it. We get the throw. Alright, now we've set up a situation again. We got 12%. And you can get, with most characters, although Chun-Li is not one of them, you can get wake-up pressure pretty easily off of that. And then finally, we have the shimmy. So if we do the shimmy, again, kind of just underneath the timer, a 0-0 situation again. So there's our first one. Let's look at some of the more interesting options for our opponent. The first one is to press a quick light button. Now, for the sake of this, I am saying that the offense is always getting their meaty timings, the defense is always getting their reversals. The computer's going to be able to do that for us with the reversal timing, but I'm not sure I will be able to follow suit. I'll do the best I can. So, we get the knockdown. Oh, not bad. Alright, so you get 20% off of that. Cool. Next, we get this knockdown, and our opponent tries to push a button. There is no throw invincibility on wake up here, so the throw also beats the strike attempt. Finally, we get this shimmy, and a low will beat the shimmy as you're walking backwards, and it specifically gives you this combo right here that does 12% and gives you Chun-Li a little bit of room to breathe outside of the corner, which is pretty nice. So there's those options. Next, we have the classic, the meme, teching the throw. So again, if we get a proper meaty here, we're going to get that 20% damage combo. I'll try for it, but if I don't get it, I'm not pushing myself right now. Look at that, beautiful. Alright, next we get the throw and the tech. Obviously 0-0 there. And finally, if we shimmy, we get like a 26% damage combo. That can be done on reaction. So if you see that your opponent has missed, as long as you time your shimmy correctly, you will still have this medium back or forward medium punch in range, and you'll get this punish counter only combo that lets you get a pretty solid amount of damage. Finally, we have the one metered option, overdrive Tensho kicks. So if we knock down our opponent and we try to get our medium, it does not work. The medium punch gets beaten by the invincible reversal as expected. Same for the throw here. You can see that I was maybe even a little early on that, but both the punish counter and the regular counter are doing about 14%. And then finally, we have the shimmy. And you can see that I did not actually get the combo there. Let's try again one more time for posterity. There we go, 34% is the correct answer. And that is every single option. I feel like I did pretty well. That could have gone much worse. Alright, let's flip over to the number side of it, because this is how I learn the basic setups. So you can see I've got everything here that we just saw in number form. So how good are the offensive options? You can see all of them are low risk, and we have medium, moderate, and high reward. So letting your opponent hang themselves, very powerful. In fact, on average, your most powerful option, as long as you are making them afraid of your strikes and throws. Remember, predictability is the enemy of all of this. So the very first thing that stuck out to me for sure is I think everybody knows strikes do more damage than throws, but to know that shimmying does more damage than strikes on Wake Up is pretty interesting. Very powerful tool. Next, we have blocking, and you can see that it is your lowest risk, but it also has no immediate reward. The reward that you get from this comes from the situation afterwards, where your opponent either probably has to use resources to stay plus, or doesn't use resources and gives you a better chance to get out by being minus. Poking out, as expected, you take a lot of damage for trying to push buttons on your opponent's Wake Up, but occasionally you get a little bit in return. Teching the throw, you can now see why the basic advice is to take the throw, because if you're getting exploded on defense, it might very well be because of this. Again, it bears repeating. Predictability is the enemy of all of this. If your opponent knows that you're not going to tech the throw, then they're just going to throw you 5 times in a row because they don't feel like they're in any danger. So make sure that they know they are. Make sure that you're neutral jumping, teching, whatever. And then finally we have the reversal. So the thing that interested me here is that I've always considered the reversal to be like the risky option, right? Because when they do guess correctly, it's the highest damage that your opponent gets on you. But as you can see here, the actual risk-reward calculation is almost even. Now there is a little invisible cost here in this game that we need to take into account, but it was interesting to see that both poking and teching out are more risky on average than doing a reversal. So when you're thinking, oh man, this guy's being so risky, he's doing all these reversals, actually, are they? Are they really? It's almost as good as even. It's very powerful. Like, shockingly so to me. That was another thing that stood out. Finally, a couple of little quick words before we go. The first one is that you get even more off of shimmy than I gave here. First of all, sometimes the things that your opponent are going to use are not going to hit you, and in that case you'll get a punish counter on their poke outs as well, so you can change your shimmy timing up to make it so that their small poke that hit you last time doesn't work this time. Also very powerful, and it gives you information, right? If you shimmy and your opponent just sits there and blocks, now you know that it's throw a clock, right? If you shimmy and they sit there and then they see that you didn't do anything and they still sit there, you see that they're not being active enough on defense, it is throw a clock. Then the next thing is this also gives you information, right? Not always, but if you're blocking, especially if you're blocking low, you are forcing your opponent to take their riskier options in order to beat that. And you're going to get information about how they intend to do that. How are they going to beat your down back? Yeah, so if you're paying attention, you'll be able to see, oh, they tried to shimmy me. What did they do after the shimmy? Oh, they just sat there and waited a bunch. I'm just going to poke out next time. Oh, they immediately pushed a button because they were just autopiloting the throw punish. I'm going to wait for that, and then I'm going to punish it. You know, that sort of thing. Or I'm going to be able to jump over it. If I just jump, then they'll miss because the timing to punish the throw doesn't catch my jump out of the corner. You know, suddenly you'll have more information and be able to make cooler decisions. And then finally, I thought that it was very interesting that this is good advice, but only if you are staying unpredictable. Well, I'm going to take some of this information with me to Ranked again, and I hope to see you there.